25th of August 2023. This is a what a fuck moment. And in this one I'm going to talk about some stuff happening here in South Africa. And there's not a coherent theme in the articles I'm going to talk about. It's just snippets, and I'm going to give you my ideas around it. Let's start with this one. Megan S. tweeted. Now there was an article in IOL. Mabula's sudden U-turn on Gordon remarks, ANC minister. In his address at the opening of the party's Women League conference, Secretary General Fikile Mabula warned public enterprises Praveen Gordon to sort the railways out. Now this is quite a joke, because it was Mbalula that fucked the railway up. It was under his watch that the railway system completely collapsed. And Megan S. says, Fikile, who destroyed Prasa and Transnet, threatens to dismiss Gordon, who is failing miserably trying to fix Mbalula's mess. What a bunch of clowns. The guy must have been delusional with power, having all those women applaud him. And I think she's hitting the nail on the head there. And that Mbalula is a joke. I have said it a few times. I would like to know what that guy's IQ is. But this is another clear example of superior logic and natural intelligence. He fucks the railways up, and now he's all over Gordon for not fixing it. And then there was a newspaper front page, Sunday Times. Get rail on track, Mbalula tells Praveen Gordon. The circus just does not run out of clowns in South Africa. And then we've got this, and this is about all the cable theft that's going on. I don't want to include the video here because it was grim. That guy was trying to steal power cables or make an illegal connection or something, and that transformer got hold of him. And Sir Cabana Alfred said he wanted the cables, but he was turned into a barbecue instead. For the people not in South Africa, this is a hell of a grim thing. For us here, we are so desensitized to violence, it's unbelievable. This is a natural occurrence. We see it. You'll drive past there and just look at it and just keep on going. That is how failed South Africa is. Thanks to black democracy. Let me get to that. ANC South Africa. 380 schools don't have principals. Eastern Cape education crisis. Concerns us 380 schools don't have principals. 39 are without deputies. Now, just for the record, the bulk of the Eastern Province population is living in squatter camps around Cape Town. Let that sink in. The Eastern Cape had industries under apartheid. There were textile industries. People were working in that province. But thanks to superior logics and natural intelligence, black democracy decided it was a good plan to fuck the Eastern Cape up properly. Everything is dead there. No industries, no health services, no education services, fuck all. And now they come out here with shit like there's 380 schools without principals. The problem is, they do not understand how to run a government department. They don't have the ability to do it. All they are very good at is stealing funds from it. Tenders and things like that. That they are excellent with. Now you must listen to this circus. Bantu Olamisa tweeted, 9 out of 10 learners in the Air Force have failed the fitness test, but the Chief of Air Force has waived this important requirement by ordering that these learners must be accepted, lowering of the standard and risking lives of many. This directive must be rejected. Now all I'm going to say is, at a stage there were, I think, 16 pilots that were being trained for SAL. And the local authorities did not want to pass them. They said that the guys are not up to scratch. I think it was after 18 months or so. And then the government decided, okay, but these local guys are racists. They'll send these 16 pilots or potential or prospective pilots to Australia to be trained there. So they go to a flight school in Australia. After, I think, 14 months, Australians failed them all. And the government was more upset about that. So they sent them to England to be trained in England. So they go to England and they train there. And they come back with their commercial licenses. And everybody is having a ball and a festival and so. And then someone took those licenses and had a look at it. And there was a restriction on the license. They were allowed to fly passenger planes, but not in the EU airspace. How's that? And then we get to this one. Again from Megan S. She's on the case big time. The Daily Maverick had an article, Chris Hani Baragwanath runs out of life-saving adrenaline after doctors reported that the last vial of adrenaline at Chris Hani Baragwanath was used up this week. The supplier heard a lot of stories. Now, this is adrenaline at a hospital, a major hospital. So Megan S. says, these leaders in charge, do these leaders in charge have any regard for the lives of so many people? They knew as far back as in May that the supplies were running low. More corruption loading. But this is another example. Failed. But you're dealing with superior logic and natural intelligence. And this is how black management manages a hospital. But I'm absolutely beaten to a point where I don't really get upset anymore. I'm just pissed off when I looked at it, because the people is apparently happy to be treated like that, because they keep on voting for these cretins. And then we get to this, and just to give you an idea what South Africa is like. Mossel Bay is angry. Thank goodness we woke up, and look at those people streaming to Mossel Bay town. To do what? They say they're going to protest, but we know what's going to happen. Grand scale destruction. Shops will be looted, cars will be stoned, damages like you cannot believe. That is what they're going to do. Destroy and destruct. That is what they do. They don't have a successful day unless they have destroyed a lot of things. Then Willem Petzer replied to Robert Dugan. Dugan tweeted a few thoughts here. 1. Black South Africans are not doing as badly as people claim. 2. The private formal sector black middle class is smaller than you may think. 3. A racial minority tax revolt could be more dangerous than people think. And then Willem Petzer replied to that, I believe it was Social Research Foundation study that said 92% of the black middle class are government employees. If the ANC regime falls, it will destroy the black middle class. This is why people still vote ANC. Without them, they have nothing. This is something to think about. And then we have this gem. We have this gem. Again from Megan S. The Sowetan Live had an article. Robert Erasmus. Pit latrines menace needs new ideas to eradicate them. The need to eliminate pit latrines is clear, given the multitude of risks they pose to the health, safety and environment of communities. And Megan S. says, This is devastating. 4 million people still use pit latrines, and government needs another 7 years to eradicate them. If it takes them that long to eradicate pit latrines, not forgetting they have had 30 years already, how long is it going to take to build a school? A valid question. And the reality of this is that this is a government that talks about Industrial Revolution 4 and AI, and they want to have a space agency and cock like that. They can't even do a proper toilet. And then you get Sakile Nyoko. He replies to an article of News 24. The SA Reserve Bank has found that President Ramaphosa's Ntawa Nyoni estate that owns the Palapala game farm was not legally entitled to $580,000 it received from the Sudanese businessman Hassim Mustafa for 20 buffalo. Was not legally entitled. And then Sakile Nyoko says, the logical conclusion to draw from the SARB's finding is that you can receive foreign currency under the pretext of selling something, but if you don't deliver the goods, the bank isn't interested because the transaction was not perfected. You can keep the money. Nice. Guys, this is absolutely ridiculous. But this is South Africa under black management. This is how it goes. Every system is now being corrupted. The legal system is corrupted. Look at how this thing was manipulated about that Palapala money in the couch. There's so many examples of it. Police involved in things, and then no prosecutions happen. Nothing works. Nothing works anymore in this government. And look at this. This is actually a what a fuck moment. Daily Investor reports. Broken solar panels manufactured specifically for South Africa. A European company purposefully produces solar panels with broken corners and cracked glass to make them less attractive to criminals in South Africa. The tweet. It was unbelievable when I read it. I couldn't believe it. But you have to believe it. This is how it works. So, this is a joke. And then we get to this guy. Times Life had an article. BEE should copy Afrikaners. Top black business leaders have blasted the slow pace of economic transformation, saying there is still too much wealth concentrated in white hands. And that's after 30 years of democracy. This is the problem. This is the problem. 30 years down the line, they have built fuck all. There's not one single infrastructure project that you can say they did that. There's not, they didn't upgrade any of the black townships. Fuck all. They leave everything to deteriorate and fall apart. No maintenance. You can see it. Eskom is fucked and down the drain. All the, basically bulk of the industrial operations is gone. But still, after 30 years, this guy points, there's too much wealth in white hands. These fuckers don't work. They create fuck all. They don't start businesses. Nothing. They steal a lot of money, and then they buy fancy cars and fancy houses and a lot of booze. And that's it. They do nothing for the economy. They like that people are jobless. They like it that the masses are unemployed and in poverty. That is to them fine. They've got no problem with that. But he can make a statement like, there is still too much wealth concentrated in white hands. What the fuck did they do with their black hands? Fuck all. They did fuck all. That's the problem. That's why their hands are still empty. Because they do fuck all. Then you get this. 3 police sergeants arrested for a farm attack. SAPS are attacking farmers. Imagine that. 6 suspects arrested in Franklin, KZN, during a farm attack. Amongst the arrested suspects, 3 were police sergeants stationed at Rapid Rail Police Unit Durban. Police managed to recover rifles. On the scene, all suspects were detained at Kokstad. How is that? This is the people that are supposed to protect the public. They participate in fucking crime. There's an old joke running around. In South Africa, the police are always first on the crime scene. Think about it, what that tells you. And then we get this. This guy took a shot at the DA in Cape Town. He says, best run city in South Africa, Cape Town. This is Kwalanga township of the DA, and then look at what it looks like in that township. And then JDP answered on Twitter and he said, you live there, clean it up. You like living like pigs. Heard of a dustbin? And this is the thing, and I've spoken about it earlier today in another discussion. I cannot understand the mentality of this superior logic, natural intelligent people. I cannot understand it. Something that absolutely baffles me. They'll go on a rant on Twitter about Orania, but you don't see one of them saying, guys, and I'm talking about blacks, not one of them will say, guys, why don't we go down there and go and look what they are doing and ask them and talk to them and find out what the fuck are they really doing? How do they manage to run that town like that? And then we can come and do it here in our places. No. Let's go down there and fuck the Orania up and burn it down to the ground. That is their mentality. I've said it in a previous tweet, Skidmark. It is as if we are living among escapees from the Stone Age. They do not know how to cope with themselves in a civilized environment. They don't know. They don't know how. When they can go into that mode of destroying and destruct, they're very comfortable. That's what they do. That is their instinct to do. But I'm going to stop this shit now, and I'm going to, with this what a fuck moment. And look at that. And Sir Cabana Alfred made this tweet. And he said, now that we have freedom, we have to shit and piss in the streets. Whites didn't allow us to do this. And look at that. And that is the reality of South Africa. And you can call me a racist. I don't give a continental fuck. Call me whatever you like. These are facts. What I have pointed out to you in this little skidmark is facts, realities that you have to deal with. Yes, you with your superior logic and natural intelligence. You reckon that you don't have to study for anything. You can do anything because you've got natural intelligence. Well, it looks like that natural intelligence is a little bit fucked up if I look at all the cuck you guys have been making. And I mean this situation with BRICS, it was clear. South Africa was sitting there, begging, nothing to offer. Fuck all to put on the table. They make a big story about we can now export avos and beef to China. The question is, how the fuck are you going to get it there? Send it by email. I shouldn't say that because some clever fucker will think that is a good plan. Let's send it by email. In any case, this is the reality of South Africa. And you cannot discuss and debate around it. You have to look at the facts. Think about that. Please give me a like and a subscribe and share the thing. Thank you for your support.